What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we're back with the pressure rankings, the final pressure rankings of 2025. If you're new to the channel, which I doubt, but if you are, the pressure rankings is basically where I go through and I talk about every notable fight or fighter on the card, and I discuss the stakes in the matchups, who's under more pressure, what are the sort of must-win situations for the fighters involved. I'm not going to be talking about every fighter on the card. I'm sorry. If you want to hear about the stakes for Antonio Tricoli, you're not going to get that here. That's going to come from someone with more autism than me, which is, it's possible, but it's unlikely. So yeah, if you're trying to hear in-depth analysis on Antonio Tricoli or Muhammad Naimov, you're in the wrong place. But anyway, like and subscribe, follow the IG and the Twitter, Left Lane MMA. Trying to hit 1k followers on Instagram. I don't know, Twitter, we're trying to hit like 500, I guess. And just make me cooking people in their replies more effective, you know, if you follow me there. But anyway, let's get underway, and we're going to start off with the main event. So, main event, Petr Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili. I'm going to be, I'm not talking, it's not a prediction video. I'm picking Merab, but who is under more pressure here? I mean, probably Merab, just like as the champion. You know, you'd say Merab just because, yeah, Yan, I mean, he's getting another title shot. If he loses this, I mean, he's never going to fight for the belt again while Merab's champ. But as long as he doesn't get like 50-40 forward or finished, like if he gets finished by strikes, if Merab TKOs Petr Yan on, like, especially if it's like on the feet, like a ground and pound late stoppage would be different. But that's still bad. But like, if Merab puts him on skates and finishes him up against the cage or some shit, that's the fucking disastrous for Yan. But Merab as the champion, it's just like he is under pressure. He is building a real credible GOAT status. And if he loses, like, it won't go away. He'd still be the Bantamweight GOAT, but it would stop him from really reaching that top 5 all-time status that he's on path to accomplish if he can keep stringing together these title defenses. He's almost at, I think this will be 15. Will this be 15 or 16? I think this will be 15 wins in a row consecutive. I believe this is 15. It's hard to keep track because they've been going up so quick. But yeah, he's looking to break some more records. He's looking to achieve history with a 4th successful title defense in a year, which no one's ever done. So definitely under a lot of pressure. Like, is it going to be disastrous for him? No, he'll probably just get a rematch or a trilogy, you could say. But with a win, it's definitely a big positive, and he can just keep moving on. Right now, we're in the, like, Merab was under more pressure in like the first O'Malley fight and like the Umar fight, because that was like the clearing the road sort of. I had the take that if he beat Umar, no one would beat him at bantamweight. I said the Umar fight was his pathway. Like, obviously winning the belt was what started it, but I said once he had the belt, if you beat Umar, you got a free fucking pathway. Like, you got a free road to just unlimited legacy at bantamweight if you want to just stay there and keep defending the belt. And so far, that's what he's done. So if he beats Petr Yan again, you're looking forward to who else, really? Like, it's an Umar rematch down the line, which he would need to beat Figgy first, and then maybe like a Song Yadong if he beats an O'Malley. Maybe an Amy and Zahabi. You know, can Zahabi... Hey, if Zahabi fights Merab, they need to make that the first 3-round title fight, and also put it in Canada. And I guarantee you Zahabi will win a split decision. But anyway, that'll do it for the main event. If Petr Yan, obviously talking about the press conference too, was kind of funny. Petr Yan just called him gay. Basically, it was like, I never see girl in your jacuzzi, only guy. In his whatever Russian broken English / through the translator. So yeah, Merab kind of didn't have a comeback for that, to be honest. Merab does kind of give me like, he's also just probably autistic, but like, he does give me vibes of like someone who could be kind of gay. Like, Merab does give me that kind of vibe. Let me know if you agree. But anyway, let's move on, and we'll move on to the co-main event. So, Pantoja versus Joshua Van. This is big stakes. Big stakes for Pantoja especially. This is his fight. Like, this is, to me, the Umar kind of matchup for him. Not quite in terms of, like, obviously he's further along in his title defense streak than Merab was, who had just won the belt at the time of fighting Umar. But if he beats Joshua Van, I just can't see anyone beating him. Like, Manel Cap's not going to do it. Kyoji Horiguchi looked great against Taguir, but I just don't think he's going to do it. Tatsuro Taira, I just don't think he's going to do it. Makaev, if he ever came back, I just couldn't see it. Joshua Van is the one fighter with like a significant advantage over Pantoja in the striking. Maybe not significant, but like a clear path to win if he can. Like, if you tell me that that Pantoja and Joshua Van are going to strike for the entire duration of the fight, there is going to be zero ground control for Pantoja. I would be very confident in telling you Joshua Van is going to win by either TKO or just clear decision, like a Bilal JDM type on the feet. But I think Pantoja's striking is maybe not. I would still say better. I've still been more impressed watching him strike than Bilal, who I've really only ever been impressed, quote, watching him strike against Leon, who just makes anyone look like a half-decent volume boxer if he backs up. So I wasn't that impressed, but like I've seen Pantoja drop Moreno. I've seen Pantoja have like good success on the feet with guys. He's wild. He's not clean. He's not technical, but he makes it work. So yeah, if he does strike with Joshua Van for the whole fight, like I'm not going to be particularly compelled for his chances to win. If he strikes with Van, sorry, I should say. I don't even know if that's what I said before, but definitely pressure on Pantoja. If he loses this, the streak kind of comes to an end. He's just really been building slowly, trying to get that respect, trying to get that pound for pound credit, trying to get up in that flyweight GOAT conversation. He's really, because Merab is already the Bantamweight GOAT, win or lose here. If Pantoja loses, it's going to be really tough for him to get to a position to be called the flyweight GOAT, I should say. If he wins, there's a real case for just that, just off that win alone, which would be a fifth defense. I know there'll be the people that need the convincing with the big numbers and but he defended it this many times. So you have to break that amount of defenses. Like, I'm sorry, Pantoja does not need to defend the belt 12 times to be greater than DJ. His wins are mostly better. Now, yeah, the Asakura win's not great, but most of his wins, now, like, the peak of DJ's wins, we're learning is actually quite good with the Kyoji win, the Benavidez win, the Benavidez wins, I should say, the Cejudo win. So I'm one of the guys who actually do think DJ deserves more credit and should be higher than, like, Lucas had him at, like, 11 or some shit on the GOAT list, with Peter Yan above him. Shout out that Marcus McGee win. Dude, shout out that old Uriah Faber win, really puts you above DJ on the GOAT list without any fucking title offenses, you retard. I hope Lucas comes back and drops another GOAT list after this card, because it is a requirement. But yeah, definitely most of the pressure on Pantoja. Joshua Van's young, he'll be back. I feel very confident that he'll win a belt at some point anyway. He's 24 right now, he's young. That's kind of why I don't think it's quite his time yet. And it's also no pressure on him. No one's good. Even if he gets like ran over and subbed in a minute, like if Pantoja just takes him down and subs him immediately, I still don't think that's gonna be that bad on him. Like, that's just gonna be like, all right, bro, you're good. You've had 4 years of being a professional fighter. Like, just go back to the drawing board. Shore up the grappling. Your striking's great. It's fine. Anyway, though, let's move on. Next up, another flyweight fight and potentially a title eliminator or a number one contender fight here, especially if Tatsuro Taira wins. If Van wins, I think the winner of this gets... if Van wins, they'll do a rematch. But if Van wins and wins again, then I would say if Van wins, the winner of this fight will just be on ice to fight Van, assuming he beats Pantoja in a rematch, if that happens. I don't think either of those outcomes will happen. I'm picking Pantoja, but pressure here, I mean, Moreno's just kind of been there, done that. He's had his title fights. There's not really an overwhelming expectation for him to win the belt back. If he loses this, it would probably eliminate most of the possibility of that happening, but he's fine. He's still a fan favorite. He'll still just go fight in Mexico. If he gets subbed or if he just loses a low damage decision based off control time, he'll probably just turn around and fight on the Mexico card in February. Which I've seen is happening. Also just seen a London March fight night card, so I'll probably do matchmaking videos for the Mexico and the London card as well. So drop some matchups you'd want to see on those respective cards, I should say. But yeah, Taira, I mean, a little bit of pressure you could say, I guess, just because, again, he's young, he's still got time, but like, he took the loss to Royval. If he loses to Moreno, it would kind of put a bit of okay, so even though you were losing to good fighters, like, how much, like, you're going to need a fair bit of work, just like, not like a fair bit, but it's like you're just not quite in that top 3 level. Like, it's right now, it's Pantoja, Van, Moreno, Roval, and then if you lose to Moreno, you're kind of just, there's a bit of a wall and you're stuck on the wrong side of that wall. It would just mean your game's a little bit too one-dimensional, need to work on a bit of your striking type thing, you know. But if he wins, it's probably a title shot next for him. Anyway, though, let's move on. Next up, Payton Talbot, Henry Cejudo. No pressure. I mean, a little bit of pressure on Cejudo. You know, you probably don't want to end your career 0-4 after coming back from the worst retirement of all time. Like, quite literally the stupidest decision ever made by a UFC fighter career-wise. Like, there's fight IQ mistakes and stuff like that. Career decision-making, probably the worst thing I've seen. Like, there's been worse, but, like, probably the worst. If you're talking about, like, oh, people killing their careers based on, like, you know, fucking Isaac Dolgarian type shit. Like, some James Krause shit. Or, like, roids, you could say. But, like, in terms of just a career movement decision, like taking a fight / retiring or making a decision relating to your career, Henry Cejudo retiring after his first Bantamweight title defense in a fucking empty crowd when no one really cared, and Dana White then was like, yeah, alright, we're going to just book PD on for the title fight. He just didn't care. He just killed all of his momentum in his career, and like, he was building for like a top 15, top 10 GOAT status, and now I just genuinely don't think he's top 20. Because you can pick holes in literally every one of his wins. Like, the DJ win was a robbery in my opinion. The TJ was a fucking skeleton. Like, he didn't even beat like a remotely healthy version of TJ. The Moraes win was his best win in terms of the context, like when the fight happened, but the post-fight situation of just Moraes fucking falling off a cliff was just not great. And then the Cruz win was Cruz coming back after ages, and it was a slightly early stoppage. So like, he really doesn't have a clear good title win for either of his championships / defenses. So you'd want to get something there. But in terms of, like, does anyone really care? No, you're old anyway. You're an underdog. Talbot needs to win this, in my opinion. Talbot's kind of cooked, and he's not really going to be anything in the sport ever if he loses, because that would be 2 losses in a year, just sandwiched between a Felipe Lima win. And it would just be like, alright, well, yours is not top 15 level. Like, yeah, that's just tough. Like, he looked improved against Lima, but like, he didn't highlight reel him like he was previously doing to Simon and to Giannis Gamori. But yeah, if you lose to Barcelos and Cejudo, that's like, you've just been unk-maxed twice, just out-grappled. Like, that's a bad look. Anyway, though, let's move on. So, Bogdan Guskov versus Jan Blachowicz. I mean, pressure, not a lot of pressure. This kind of just a fun fight. Like, but Jan is just old, so it's kind of like no one really cares. Once you're old and there's not really any title expectations on you, you can kind of just fight. Like, you'd like to win. He's coming off that Carlos Olberg loss, so you'd probably want to get that one off your back, I guess. But Bogdan, I mean, just in terms of if he wants to be a relevant, like, contender, there's a bit of pressure. Like, if you want to be a top 5 guy, this is kind of the ceiling fight. Like, this is kind of the best scenario you're going to get in terms of fighting a guy in or around that top 5, I would say. And if he loses, it's like, alright, it's whatever, you're kind of just like fun. I view Bogdan as just a goofball and a tremendous person. And as such, I think he's just like a slightly budget version of Yuri. And he's going to be top 5 as a result. Because light heavyweight just has a bunch of goofballs. That's just how it works. I love the goofballs, you know, that's my style of fighter. Just like, who cares about technique? Just be a fucking retard. And Bogdan is. But I loved the press conference fit, by the way, with the Agent 47 kind of on that Usyk vibe. With what, Usyk, whatever, with what he did. But, yeah, probably slightly more pressure on Bogdan, I would say. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Grant Dawson, Manuel Torres. I'd say a little bit of pressure on Dawson, just because, I don't know, he got chinned. It's just unranked or, like, sub-12 ranked lightweights, like, just highly competitive, trying to break into the rankings. Similar pressure on both. Both have taken both have taken round 1 KO losses to two other top 15 slash former top 15 guys, obviously in the case of Robert Green, which is a worse, like losing to Bobby Green like that is a worse look than getting counter KO'd by Bahamondes. But it's kind of just the loser of this is just not going to be a top 15 lightweight, would be the assumption. Anyway though, let's move on. McKinney, Duncan, is there ever really... I'd say a bit of pressure on Duncan. I wouldn't say McKinney. No one views McKinney as like a top 15 guy. He's just an excitement machine. Finish or be finished type thing. Like, it's just going to keep going. Like if he goes out there and KOs Duncan in a minute, there'll be people being like, oh, top 15 opponent next? And it's like, yeah, okay, sure, on any given night, yeah, I guess. Like, he could fucking KO Chandler. Like, that's a possibility. I'd love to see him fight. I actually kind of want them to do McKinney Chandler if he wins. I know they're not, because Chandler's going to fucking swindle his way into a McGregor fight and act like he's a star, even though no one cares about him and he's on like a 3-fight losing streak and like 4 out of his last 5 or some shit. But, yeah, I don't know. Chandler McKinney would be fun, and it would be a decent way to just kind of fraud... Like, it'd be a decent way to just fraud McKinney into the top 15. Kind of like any welterweight beating Colby. Like, you could get like a mid-ass bum welterweight and just give him Colby, and they'd win, and then you'd be like, oh, you're ranked now, cool. And that would make people think they're good, but they're not, because Colby's not good. Same thing with Chandler. Like, McKinney could KO Chandler right now and be people like, oh, he's a top 15 lightweight. No one in their right minds think McKinney is one of the 15 best lightweights in the world. He just has finishing potential, and Chandler's washed. Like, give him Benny. Benny's top 10, I'm pretty sure. He would KO Benny. McKinney would KO Beneil Dariush in inside 30 seconds. Most likely, with how we saw Benny just look. So, I kind of like the concept of, like, top 10 fighters are, like, supposed to be really good, but there's multiple, like, not even top 30 guys who could beat them. But I'd say a bit more pressure on Duncan, because he's kind of... But neither of them are really viewed as prospect. Duncan, if anything, is like, how have you made it this far? Keep fucking guillotining these people. And then he beat Rebecca, which hasn't aged that well. But, yeah, again, just... solid lightweight fight. Let's move on then. Next up, Fares Ziam, Nazim Sadikov. Let's say slightly higher stakes than the Duncan fight, similar to the, or definitely higher stakes than the Duncan fight, similar to the Torres fight. Neither of these two are quite ranked, both of them just on solid streaks, both pretty exciting, solid lightweights. Again, same concept. That's why I love this card. There's like, the main card's dope, and then the prelims are like one of the better, like these prelims are better than what's it called, 322, and yeah, these prelims are better than the MSG card for sure. Like, point to a fight on the MSG prelims better than point to an MSG prelim fight better than Dawson Torres or better than Ziam Sadikov. Like, I'm trying to think. I don't think there is one. Like, RoboCop was cool. Like, and not in terms of how the fight turned out, just like on paper, RoboCop Kopylov was probably your best option, because no one really cared about Bo Nickel heading in. The main card was obviously supremely better and incredible. But yeah, prelim-wise, this card is very, very good. Anyway, though, let's move on. Next up, another lightweight fight. What's his name? Jalen Turner. Why is it M? Don't know whose name I was thinking of, but Jalen Turner vs. Edson Barboza. A lot more pressure on Turner. Dude fucking came back. Apparently he was dealing with stuff in his personal life or something. Like, he just didn't love the sport anymore. Or like, he didn't want to hurt people or something. He found God, apparently. Good for him. I don't know what's going on with Turner, but like, dude, the fact that he's retiring and coming back in it. I'm sorry, if you announce in the cage, well, not in the cage, but like, if you say on fight day you're retiring, you're not allowed to fight again until the next year. Like, I don't care, even if you decide you want to come back. No, shush. Like, if you make everyone get their graphic make their graphics of Jalen Turner with like, and then retired or something. Like, if you make everyone post that and then you come back within a year, nah, fuck off, bro. You gotta take a few more months, rethink your decision, just in case you do want to stay retired. Just make sure you love the game, you know. But he's gonna KO Barboza. There's no pressure on Barboza at this point. He's just an old head. He should retire as well. We should see multiple retirements on Saturday, I think. We're definitely going to see a Cejudo one, I imagine. Unless he wins in like dominant fashion, then he'll probably call for fucking O'Malley or some bullshit. But we should see a Cejudo retirement, and in my opinion, we should also get a Barboza retirement if he loses. I wouldn't hate a Yan retirement, but I don't watch Yan and be like, you need to hang it up, you're washed. If he gets flatlined by Guskov, like, that would be a bit of a concern, but still. I'd say 2 would be the amount. Fucking who knows? Maybe Macy Barber will have a seizure and will pull out and retire. We'll see. But yeah, Turner needs to win because it's a terrible look if you be like, oh yeah, I found myself again, I'm back, and then you just lose to old Edson Barboza. That's a bad look. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Marvin Vettori, Bruno Ferreira. This is the last fight to discuss. Definitely pressure on Marvin. You don't want to keep losing. He's probably cut if he loses. It wouldn't actually shock me if they cut him. If he loses this by KO or just by dominant decision, whatever, they'd either cut him or they'll give him to Gauthier next. That I could very much see that. Like, I know they really feel like they're slow rolling Atiba Gauthier, but like if he goes out and KOs Andre Polaev, there's probably going to be a demand to be like, all right, can we stop playing around? Like, give this guy a test. And so, like, let's say Bruno Ferreira just beats him by decision. Like, just kind of beats him on damage. Vettori just doesn't have enough power to get any scores off with the judges, right? It would not shock me if they're like, all right, let's test this chin and just give him a Tabor, and then if a Tabor loses, it's like, all right, we'll refresh, we'll go again, just keep giving him bombs until he gets decent. But like, if we think he's good, and I do think he is very good, test the chin, give him either Marvin or give him Gastelum. One of them two. Anyway, that is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Quicker video again. It's 2:30 a.m. I'm trying to get some sleep. But I will probably try and live stream the card. I know I haven't been streaming recently. My setup's been cooked. I'm going to try and find a way. I want to stream for Pantoja because that's like my favorite fight of the year. And I want to stream for Guskov too. So, worst comes to worst, I'll pull out the phone and stream for just those individual fights. Because the phone quality is never great. So, I won't be able to go for too long on those, but otherwise, again, worst, if I can't even manage a stream, I'll record my reaction and I'll post it if something happens. Anyway, goodbye. See you later.